These are like World War I times, World War II times, where people are jumping in and making things that are completely different than they did before. But because we have such a great group of people working in America, we can find ways to keep them busy.
We are so excited to talk today with Zac Triemert, who runs Brickway Distillery in Omaha, Nebraska, who was formerly making spirits and now making hand sanitizer. So we want to hear about how you not only operationalized that switch, but what drove you to use your facilities in such a giving way.
Well, when this all happened, I realized there was this need out there, this demand for hand sanitizer. The first thing we did was get it to first responders, hospitals, medical clinics. Right now, we're distributing our hand sanitizer as far as we can get it within about a 200-mile radius. And we're not nearly getting done the demand that's out there. You should have seen it yesterday. We had lines that spanned 4 blocks from before we opened at 11 in the morning until we closed at 6 p.m. And the only reason we were able to close at 6 p.m. is because the police officers came and were willing to be the bad guys that said, hey, no more people in line and come back tomorrow.
Yeah. Amanda and Deluxe and then our company, Flow Studios, have worked on this show for the past 5 seasons about small businesses in small towns. There has seemed to me to be a really strong sense of community. Has that informed the way you're responding now?
Yeah, we're a small staff. We're, 17 people. We're a family. When we had to close our tasting room part of our business, I had to lay off 9 people. And so to have to go to, half of our family and say, hey, I can't pay you anymore was probably one of the hardest days I've had as a business owner. But we've been able to bring back 5 of those bartenders and servers to now just get in our line for bottling hand sanitizer because there's such a demand. We're all trying to do it.
Amazing. To date, how many bottles of hand sanitizer have you produced?
Well, we've done now over 1,000 gallons. And so number of bottles is well over 10,000. I think we're going to be closer to 25,000 by the end of the week. But when I say bottles, these bottles range in size from 50 milliliters to a gallon.
Oh, wow.
So, you could fit a whole bunch of 50 ml bottles in one gallon jug.
Is it literally just based on the availability of the plastic jugs, or is it based on certain demand or need?
Both. It's absolutely based on what I can get my hands on. Plastic bottles is another raw material that have been just tough to come by, but we got another 4,000 in yesterday, another 1,500 coming, and we're just constantly searching for more so we can keep cranking this stuff out.
How would you advise other breweries or distilleries? Were there things that you learned about kind of pivoting your business model if they want to follow suit and use their facilities and their employees in the same way to give back to the community in such a great way?
Operationally as a distillery, it's all the same equipment. And so it hasn't been a difficult shift. So all the distilleries out there, crank out those high percentage spirits, find a source for aloe, find a source for hydrogen peroxide, and it's getting harder and harder to find those things every day. But whatever your business is, there is a way to look at the need that exists right now. These are, like World War I times, World War II times, where people are jumping in and making things that are completely different than they did before. But because we have such a great group of people working in America, we can find ways to keep them busy. People just need to look at what their business is, what their capabilities are, and see how they can shift it into something that would be beneficial to help their community. And that helps everybody.
Have you heard any stories kind of from the front lines of what an impact this has made or what a difference it's made that you've helped them in this way where they don't have to worry about trying to find this somewhere else?
The amount of appreciation of this city has been really heartwarming. Handwritten letters thanking us for what we're doing. And of course, that makes us all feel so good and know that we are doing the right thing. It's more than me. It's my entire staff just working day and night. We all used to work, 5-day work weeks. Now we're working 7-day work weeks just to do as much as we can. It warms my heart that the community's coming together instead of seeing people looting and trying to take advantage of the situation. I really think we're seeing America step up as one giant community, and it's giving me the chills right now. It's really nice to see.
Yeah, it's fascinating to me. So many companies are in the spot that you're in where they're trying to do two things. They're trying to keep their employees working and paid. Are you able to charge for the hand sanitizer? Is that how you're able to bring people back on staff?
Well, we're not charging. We're donating 100% of it. And we really wanted to make it our social mission to do so.
I mean, as businesses are trying to figure out how to just kind of break even right now and survive, there are contracts out there through the government where you could be, charging for some of these things and kind of balance out that economic model. At what point are you going to make that decision? And for the small businesses that are watching this episode, how should they be thinking about kind of balancing the heart for wanting to donate, but at the same time, you have a business to make sure survives this crisis?
We really believe in our community, and we're getting orders from all over the country. People are throwing big dollar amounts to supply 55-gallon drums from New York to LA and everywhere in between, but that doesn't help our community. And I would love to help everybody, but right now, we can't fill the demand for the people that live in our area. And so we're surviving on donations right now. So we did start a GoFundMe page. And so that is helping us be able to continue to order more bottles and more aloe and more hydrogen peroxide and more other, grains and things, so we can keep cranking out what we're doing. And we haven't broke even yet, but I have to think that by the time this is all done, we'll be at a point where we broke even, and I think it's going to work because I feel like the social mission is the right thing to do.
It's just fascinating to see as businesses trying to juggle these two things, keeping their employees in work and helping the array of different ways that they're trying to essentially fund that effort. And basically what you've built is a nonprofit model. What is happening now with production of your spirits and what you normally are making?
We are producing less, obviously, but we also still have a lot of aged spirit in barrels that we're able to empty the barrels and keep shipping spirits to grocery stores, and that's helping us keep our lights on. Our grocery store sales have been pretty strong because people are I liken it to, I think there's been some memes about it. It's like being at the airport. There's no time where it's inappropriate to drink at an airport. It's not like that at home. Oh, I can have a cocktail at 9 a.m. I'm stuck at home. The reason I have this business, the reason I started Brickway, is because it doesn't matter if you're celebrating, commiserating, or commemorating, Brickway is going to be there for you. And so right now, we are all commiserating together, and some of us are commemorating together in a hard time. And we want to make sure we have our beers and spirits available for people so they can do the best they can with what's going on in the world and enjoy their lives as best they can.
Zac, we just want to thank you for what you're doing in Omaha and what an example you're setting. I mean, this is exactly why we wanted to do this series, because we love small businesses and we think that small businesses are vital to communities, and we just want to celebrate people like you who are really being creative about how you're helping and supporting your community. And so we're just in great admiration of how you're making Omaha a better place right now and helping protect people on the front lines.
We're doing with smiles on our faces, and a little bit of whiskey doesn't hurt either.
Yeah, that's true. Do you guys ship to Texas?
Yeah.
Asking for a friend.
It sounds like an offline conversation.
Yeah, sounds good.
Brickway Brewery and Distillery is committed to delivering hand sanitizer to the Omaha community free of charge. So they are relying on donations both to purchase raw materials and to pay their staff. Please join Deluxe and Flow Studios in donating to their GoFundMe page at the link below. And we'll be continuing to interview small business owners who are stepping up for their communities. So check back at deluxe.com/bigheart for more incredible stories. Or send us a story from your hometown. #smallbusinessbigheart.